Alright, moving on to the next topic, Star Wars Visions.
Visions.
For this one,
my God.
I want to go down each of the specials one at a time, if that's okay with you.
Sure. Well, since we're going to start on since we're going to do this one at a time, I definitely want to start with, the Ronin.
Well, the duel.
That shit. The duel. The duel, that was it. That was my favorite. That was one of my favorite ones. That was, who did the animation for that one again?
Let's see, it is Kamikaze Doga, which, did you ever watch the Batman Ninja movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, same people.
That looks familiar.
Yeah. An interesting little studio.
Star Wars Batman.
Yeah. I thought it was them at first. I wasn't quite sure, but I mean, they just really love this kind of atmosphere, and they went all in terms of the Ronin persona and all this. They're also the ones who did the 3D openings for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like, they just have this way about them that they just really do love their 3D animation, and their 3D animation really loves them.
Very good at setting atmosphere, I'll give them that.
Yes.
That whole short was nothing short of atmospheric, and I mean, the color palette was actually really impressive as well, because like it was mostly black and white, right?
Yes, aside from when you had the red lightsabers, which really just honestly enhanced the visuals, to be honest. Or the few times when you had like blue things light up too, here and there.
Mm-hmm. This had to be the first time anybody has ever seen a lightsaber sheath.
Right? But even then, it was also another lightsaber.
Which made it even fucking cooler.
Oh man, but that lightsaber kind of add-on umbrella thing was also kind of cool, but I will admit I wanted to see her fight with it.
Same! The fact that she didn't was a little bit of a cop-out. You put it out there, you make it seem like it's a thing that she's going to use really often, and you see how she can take it out, and okay, that's really cool. But we really wanted to see the combat application of a lightsaber umbrella.
It's just like you put the idea in our head and you didn't follow through. How dare you?
How fucking dare.
But, I mean, it was a very straightforward episode, all things considered, and that was probably for the best. Tell a simple story and get some pretty good results, and they left enough questions behind it. Because, you have to wonder, it's just like, is he just a Sith hunter? Was he a former Jedi? How did he train? What is this coming off of? I mean, I know a lot of these are considered non-canon, but, some of them, there is a good amount of placement that you can put them within continuity, but with this, at most, I'd say sometime after or around, I want to say the original trilogy.
This one I would place,
If only just because a lot of the bandits were wearing, makeshift stormtrooper helmets and stuff that had stormtrooper pieces and stuff like that. That's the only reason why I would say that. Otherwise, it's just this could honestly take place any time.
To be honest, I thought it was a post-Empire kind of deal.
Yeah, no, well, that's kind of what I'm thinking as well. It happened sometime after the Empire had fallen, after episodes 4, 5, and 6, and just on the outskirts of the galaxy where their influence really wasn't at the forefront of things or something.
Okay, so the next short after the duel was
Tatooine Rhapsody. Also, last thing I wanted to mention, the one female Sith chick was voiced by Lucy Liu.
Oh, well, That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that. That's really fucking cool.
Yeah, but episode 2 is Tatooine Rhapsody, the one with the band.
I really, really enjoyed this one. This was... I got a Space Dandy vibe from it. Like, you remember the episode where, they formed the band? It was a lot like that.
Yeah.
But it still felt... It felt a lot more... Well, it has that same wholesome energy that you'd get from... again, the same wholesome energy you'd get from Space Dandy. I'm blanking on what the name of the specific episode was, but...
Yeah, I know the one that you're talking about for the most part. And I apparently, because going off of how things were framed, it happened sometime after Order 66, so sometime after episode 3.
Yeah, from the looks of it, it seemed to be set somewhere between episodes 3 and 4, so I was just like, oof, this Jedi kid is really putting his life at risk right now. Like, really putting his life at risk.
That's the reason why that lightsaber is nothing more than a mic at this point. But this was done by Studio Colorado, which had worked on their biggest claim to fame is the Pokemon Twilight Wings. A few of those episodes. They did episodes 1 and then 3 through 8, so those Twilight Wings episodes were really good if you've never watched those.
I haven't.
Oh yeah, they're free to view on YouTube, so if you ever get the chance, check out Pokemon Twilight Wings.
Okay.
And you have this one Jedi kid, Jay, voiced by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and he runs into this Fett named Geezer, and they form a band ultimately, with him just not wanting to be a Jedi anymore, especially because Jedis are kill on sight, and for some reason, Geezer is wanted by...
the Hutts.
Yeah, the Hutt. I meant to say he was a Hutt, but he's wanted by Jabba the Hutt, and apparently he's some relative of Jabba, because apparently he didn't want to be part of Jabba's crime syndicate, and so it's just like it's a join me or die situation, which was actually pretty interesting.
Hearing like the backstory on Geezer, right?
Yeah.
Hearing Geezer's backstory, it kind of made perfect sense, because I remember seeing like a video like a long ass time ago, Star Wars based, about like Hutt culture, and that's really how Hutts survive. Like they survive by being mobsters, mob bosses. It's just what they were bred to do, and it looks like Geezer decided, hey, you know what? This isn't me. And I honestly really like that. It's just like, hey, you've got someone trying to go against the grain of what it takes to be a Hutt. I fuck with that.
Right. Unfortunately, Jabba wasn't fucking with that. It was just like, you want to leave the life, then you leave life, period.
Yeah. I love how they managed to get Boba Fett to tap his fucking feet.
I love that Boba Fett was in this period, voiced by Tamir Morris as well. Like, that was pretty cool.
I mean, hey, if you're gonna have him, you might as well have Boba Fett.
It was also interesting that this was like the one episode that actually even had any recognizable character in Star Wars canon, too. Well, two of them, honestly. Fett and Jabba.
Jabba and Boba.
Yeah.
Well, technically 3 if you want to count Bib Fortuna. Even if he didn't say anything, he's still greetable.
Yeah, and you also had the Cantina Band.
Yes, you did see the Cantina Band.
Yeah, so nice little references here and there. But I don't know. What did you think about the song that they played towards the end to get Geezer out of execution?
Pretty nice bop.
Altogether decent bop. Well done.
Yeah. Like, you know what? I'd sign this group. Fuck yeah, I'd make some money off this group. Hell yeah.
I like to think that they were touring the galaxy, and that's why we never saw them in the original episode 4 through 6 trilogy.
One can only hope.
Next episode?
Yeah, the next episode is the Twins, right?
Yes. Done by Studio Trigger.
Oh my god. I was like, oh, we're going to see some Gurren on Star Wars. And, I mean, we pretty much got that, but it was also pretty much Promare at the same time. Like, everything they took from Promare, they put into this short. And what got me were the lightsaber whips.
I mean, look, man, look. You had the director for this episode was Hiroyuki Amashi, and like you said, it's the same guy who directed Dev Leaves, Cutie Honey Ree, Gurren Lagann, Penny and Stocking with Garter Belt, Kill la Kill, Promare. It's just like this was exactly what you were going to get no matter what.
Yeah, and listen, I fucked with it. I fucked with it hard. I really did. I just honestly, I kind of want to see where it goes from that point.
Yeah.
Like, it was a very cool short, and it just makes me want more of it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know more about the twins.
Yeah. Although it was interesting that one Kyber crystal was, well, technically two Kyber crystals, but they needed both in order to activate the I'm gonna be real. The Gemini conjoined Star Destroyers was dumb but also awesome as shit.
Oh, thank you. I thought I was the only one. It's like, wow, that does look really cool, but it feels like it'd be super impractical.
It's just like, why would you do that to two perfectly good Star Destroyers? What's wrong with you? But it was interesting that two Kyber crystals were going to be able to like power whatever super weapon that was supposed to be.
Well, apparently the Death Star's powered by Kyber crystals.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought it was like multiple. Like, did they ever say how many Kyber crystals powered it?
Well, they did say they were pretty much the biggest fucking crystals they could find.
Okay.
I mean, they showcased how big those crystals are actually in Rebels.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's right. I mean, but the Kyber crystal here was like about the size of a fist. So I'm just like, I mean, would that really...
Right?
Will that really be able to power all that? Now, once Kyrie, who...
I mean, that technology must have been able to adapt it or something.
Yeah, true. But we had the boy of the twins, Kyrie, who was voiced by Neil Patrick Harris, and the girl called Am, who was voiced by Alison Brie. And the idea of Kyrie having a force vision that Am was going to use the Kyber crystal to power her suit and was going to be like, we'll use this power to dominate the universe. And it's just like, yeah, I know you're going to do this. It's stupid. You're going to get yourself killed. I'm going to take this away. Go bye-bye. Only to kind of create a self-fulfilling prophecy for the most part. That was actually pretty interesting.
No, it's funny that you should bring it up because that seems to be a recurring theme in Star Wars. Because it happened in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
It happened in this fucking short, and, well, fast forward, we see it happen in another one.
Yeah. It was like,
that was it.
Try to go against destiny, you just end up accelerating it.
Which is fucked, when you think about it.
Though, like you were saying with the energy whips, that was pretty crazy. Honestly, it was interesting to see someone essentially pull a General Grievous, and, I mean, not suck in the end, but General Grievous in 2D was always better than General Grievous in 3D, and I'll leave it at that.
This is an undisputable fact, but I will agree with you. It is actually really fucking cool to see somebody else pull the General Grievous thing and, not be bad at it.
But, like, I mean, the climax, too, was just kind of like, that's bullshit. It's stupid, but I fucks with it. So I'm gonna let it slide.
Honestly, the ending to that short is exactly the kind of shit Trigger would pull.
It really
That is right up Trigger's alley. So, like, I'm not even... Like, I can't even be mad at it. I agree 100% with what you said, but I forgive it because it's Trigger, and they do shit like this pretty frequently.
It's just like, let me stand on the front of my X-Wing. You drive me into her. I will increase the power of my lightsaber to literally be able to cut through a Star Destroyer in one slice. I will shorten it just in time to nick the Kyber crystal out of my sister's suit, and then we will cut this bitch in half by going into warp speed. Like, what? What?
There are several problems with how that works. Even by Star Wars logic, that should not work.
There is not enough time in the day, let alone the week, to explain why none of that would work.
And the fact that he put the Kyber crystal in his lightsaber and made a goddamn fucking Giga Drill saber is just...
It likes literally, taste the rainbow, motherfucker!
Like, it's ridiculous, and I love it, and...
The energy output and conservation on these devices is literally off the charts. Like, bruh, no, you would not have enough power to do any of this.
Fucking... Oh man.
I can't blame people for some people not liking this, but it was just the kind of dumb that it's just like, if you have never watched a Studio Trigger anime before, I'll understand if you didn't get it, but it's just like, if you've watched Trigger at any point in your life, it's just like, yep, that's the Trigger I know and love.
As Trigger, alright!
You keep on with the bullshit. I'm here for it.
It's like, alright. This is clearly going to be Gurren Lagann Star Wars, so when does it happen? And right at the end, it fucking happened. It's just like, yep, that was the most Trigger shit I have ever seen.
Oh, man.
I fucks with it, but that was still ridiculous. And that's just how Trigger do.
Mm-hmm.
They make the outlandish and the ridiculous and the impossible the most hype shit ever, even if you know in your heart of hearts it's total fucking bullshit.
Oh, man. I think that's all I got in me for the episode, honestly.
Same.
Want to move on to the next one?
Yes, what was the next one?
The next one was The Village Bride.
The Village Bride, okay.
Yeah, this
for the first half of that short, I had a hard time figuring out where they were going with it.
Really?
Up until they made like their connection with the planet, and it was like showcasing all their history and stuff like that, and you could see like the Jedi girl clearly having a connection with it. And I'm gonna level with you, I didn't know if she was a Jedi or a Sith at first. I'm just like, what's the mask for?
Yeah, with the mask, I understand that.
I mean, ultimately it was very, very good, especially that end fight sequence. Oof.
Yeah. This one was done by Konami Citrus, who used to be a part of Bones and Production IG. Most recent thing they've worked on that's prevalent is... Let's see, they've worked on The Rising of the Shield Hero and Made in Abyss.
I've actually been meaning to check out Shield Hero. I hear it's good.
Yeah. So have I. I've also been meaning to check that out. But the main character, simply known as F, is voiced by Karen Fukuhara, and you might know her better as, "This is Katana, she's got my back." Or also
what?
Suicide Squad. Oh,
right. The live action one?
Yes, the original.
I'm a level with you, dude. I have not seen any of the Suicide Squad movies in live action.
Really? Honestly, that's probably for the best. She also voiced Glimmer in She-Ra and the Princess of Power, and Kipo in Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beast. So, a personal favorite of mine. Oh my god, you haven't watched either of those, have you?
I have not.
Fucking she's Sewer Queen in Craig of the Creek.
Oh, okay. Wow. I'm sorry, like, you were really I can tell you were really trying to get me impressed here, but it's just like
like, Jesus, man, these are some pretty good shit. Like, God, good fuck. Watch She-Ra and watch Kipo. They're on Netflix. Do it, man. But it was pretty fun. I was also kind of questioning it to a certain degree, like you said. But the fact that F and her mentor, I want to say, I'm not really sure, but the one guy she
her
was
sniper
with,
buddy.
yeah,
Her sniper buddy with his explosive ass helmet.
yeah, a friend of her master's or whatever. It's obvious this took place after Order 66 and all that. She was on the run, she was in hiding, and she had come to this remote planet that used to be the home of her Jedi Master. And, she happens upon this village that used to be, is home to her master and all that. The village chief's daughter is, she's supposed to be wed to her fiance, but she's also going to be taken away as collateral to keep the village from trying anything by these bandits who took advantage of the fact that the separatists just kind of up and left the droids behind, which, damn, honestly, I kind of like that thought of what happens to the droids that are just kind of abandoned. Because it's not like we see many of them after the clones start to come into, like, full capacity and all that, and then you start getting stormtroopers, so I thought that was an interesting angle. And
well, actually, here's a pretty cool thing. One of the few cool things I liked about Star Wars Resistance, they had a plot point where old B-2 battle droids, and when I say old, I mean, like, Clone Wars era busted ass, rusted ass fucking battle droids still functioning, still being used as like a viable force. You just have to, they're just rare. And like, even if you get a shitty quality one, it's still probably a fucking hell of a find.
Nice. Hey, good to know. Like, shit. I mean, hell, there had to be a reason why the Separatists kept fucking using them.
Oh, yeah.
But, it basically serves as a way of F getting her mojo back and deciding to, I guess, kind of get back in the fight. Whether or not that was a good or bad thing, it's not like we ever actually see her in any of the following episodes, so your mileage might vary on that one. Although
I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say, like, I just think whatever happens, we'll probably see next season, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't hold me on that.
The people who set all this up mostly said that they weren't doing this in order to make multiple seasons. They just wanted to do it for the most part. So, I mean, I can't see us not getting more seasons, but whether or not they will continue on the same stories, hard to say, because this feels like more of a Love, Death, and Robots kind of situation where it's just kind of one-offs for the most part. Although some of these definitely deserve follow-up.
To be fair, I actually need to pick up on Love, Death, and Robots Season 2. I still haven't actually seen it yet.
It's kind of hit or miss here and there. Ready to move on to the next one?
Yes. What was the next?
The next one was The Ninth Jedi by Production IG.
Oh, The Ninth Jedi was one of my favorites.
Yes.
That was... I loved the way the swords, the lightsabers would change colors in the hands of different users.
Yes, that's an excellent idea, and I fucking loved it.
I also love that the main character we follow throughout the short, the little girl,
Kara,
whose name I did not. What was it?
Kara.
Yeah. I liked that her saber was sort of green, but not like totally initially before eventually getting there.
Yeah, it's like she hadn't really chosen a side in general. She was just kind of like, yeah, I like using the lightsaber. It's cool. And it was only once she got into the fight that she chose her side.
I did love the one the one Jedi character who was influenced by the other Sith acolytes in the area, because when his saber went from red to purple, my fucking I started grinning ear to ear. Okay. So there was one Jedi character there who was so influenced by the Sith acolytes around him that his saber turned red, and he was starting to turn to the dark side. But after 3 of them got bodied, he starts his saber shifts from red to purple. And at that point, I was just grinning ear to ear because I'm like, I don't know if you're a Wookiee or not, but I love you.
Well, see, for me, I thought it was more that he wasn't. It was obvious that he was definitely more on the fence about what he was doing, and then the moment he really started to straight up go up against the little girl, he's just like, you know what? I don't know if I'm really about this. I don't know if this is really my thing. And I love the fact that it references Mace Windu's lightsaber, and the fact that they said that he was always his combat style was kind of very, I guess, similar to how the Sith would do things, a little bit more on the aggressive side. So I thought that was a nice kind of way of being.
Mace Windu is the only master of in the Jedi Order who's mastered Form 7. If you can do that in the light side version, you basically unlock a purple saber. It's an issue. It's a thing of tempering your aggression with peace of mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about it, but that's ultimately the gist of it. It's kind of funny. Let's see. You can either have a saber. From what I understand, you can either have a saber turn from blue to purple, or now red to purple. But I know Ahsoka's white sabers are because she took them from Inquisitors and healed the pain that those crystals were experiencing.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing. I can get into it later if you want, or we can make a separate video dedicated to it. But we can continue on that later. Very good short, very well animated. All the aesthetic changes just made me happier than I can even explain.
Yeah. The most notable voice actor in this was the voice of Kara's dad, Zima, who was voiced by Simu Liu, or Shang-Chi.
Aw, did a pretty good performance.
Yeah.
Considering he basically just did I may never see you again, and I'm so proud of you kind of scene.
Right. This one had some pretty good action, brought to you by, Production IG, who's worked on tons of stuff. Just to name a few, Blood Plus, IGPX, XXXholic, Eden of the East, Psychopaths, Haikyuu, good shit. Some of this, they're not as overly notable, but I mean, when Fully Cooley was made in-house in some place before they split off to be Gainax, Production IG is where it came from initially, so.
I figured when I saw Production IG, I figured it was going to be really well fucking animated, because I've seen plenty of stuff that Production IG has done, none of which I can name off the top of my head.
Yeah, they just have their hands in so much stuff. It's actually pretty cool. But I love the concept of it just taking place in a time far after the Jedi Order has gone pretty much completely extinct. There's who knows how many Sith just running around left, right, and center. And, this is the rise of potentially a new Jedi Order who will, let's hope they do better than the last one.
I don't get my hopes up that high.
Next one?
Yes, next one.
Yes. Episode 6 was Toby, or TOB1.
Was I the only one who thought Toby sounded like a weird name?
Well,
I know what they were going for with TOB1, but...
Well, you got to consider, this was obviously very heavy-handed Astro Boy analogy, and do you know Astro Boy's initial name?
Tobio, right?
Yep. So.
Oh. Wow, they really leaned into the whole Astro Boy analogy, huh?
Oh shit, they were not subtle about it whatsoever. They were.
You know what? To be absolutely fair, it kind of works.
Yeah, it was.
It weirdly kind of works.
It was a pretty decent short. It was interesting to have the professor who made him be someone who has no hands, mostly uses a lot of science and stuff like that, as well as the Force in order to help him move stuff. The fact that they were on Tatooine trying to terraform it was pretty interesting.
They were trying to grow life on the planet was fucking incredible. The fact that he managed to get to do it was also incredible.
Right? But, I mean, I don't know. It was nice. It had good animation, very fluid. Sometimes it felt a little overly bouncy and weightless in the way that the character moved, but I mean that wasn't a deal breaker for me, all honestly speaking. And I don't know, there was just something really charming about it overall.
Very cute short.
Yeah.
All things considered. Like even at the end when they had the admittedly pretty cool fucking action sequence, it was ultimately a very cute short.
And it's from the studio Science Saru. There we go. They had done the Adventure Time food chain short. They had worked on Space Dandy on episodes 9 and 16. Well, I couldn't really tell you what exactly those episodes are. They had They had worked on OKKO, Let's Be Heroes, on a few promotional episodes. They worked on Devilman Crybaby.
Oh, sounds like they've had their hands in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. A lot of stuff that ended up kind of being specifically for American audience in a lot of situations. So, but a pretty good short. It was interesting that, Toby's, instead of wanting to kind of be a real boy like Astro Boy, it was more, I want to be a Jedi, and he took on this, Sith dude. Well, honestly, he was more of an Inquisitor, honestly. But, taking him on, fighting the good fight. I love the moment where he just combined with one of the other robots, got that Mega Man upgrade. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was actually pretty sick.
And, it was pretty decent, but, not really too much to it, let's be honest.
Nah, like I said, it's a cute short. It's not my favorite, but it's a cute short, and it's a good one.
Yeah. Next one was The Elder.
This, however, was one of my fucking favorites. Holy fucking shit. That had, all the elements to, a samurai or Ronin type movie that I fuck with, hardcore.
Yeah,
to be honest, I kind of thought that Padawan was gonna fucking die.
I know, right? It was just shit, that was hardcore. I'm surprised they actually killed the kid off. Holy fuck! Oh no, he's alive.
He's alive. I was surprised. It's wow, you lived. You lived, kid. I thought this man would have killed you, but no, you lived.
Nah, he got saved for Order 66. Because it's obvious when this took place. They thought that during a time when they think that the Sith is extinct, it's just okay, it's pretty obvious when this is taking place. But
likely before the Old Republic.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I mean, were the Jedi operating in this capacity during that time too?
Yeah, they were pretty much operating like that for a long ass fucking time. like the new Knights of the Old Republic remake is that game is set about 4,000 years or so prior to what happens in like the movies. So, there's a considerable gap between then and now that you can fit just about anything in. I mean, the Sith have this like whole thing of disappearing and resurfacing when they think they can take the smoke.
Okay, yeah, shit. I can't argue with that, but pretty good shit. I mean, it was also done by Studio Trigger. A lot less on the nose.
Listen, despite this was the least Trigger shit I had ever seen, and I never thought I'd say that. I never thought I would say that.
Oh man, I mean, it's not like Trigger can't do other things. It's just that
they really like to stick to one thing, and I don't hate it, but after all this time, it's starting to get old. I'll admit that right now.
Hey, look, it always depends on what director you have, and the director on this one, they don't always put him on a lot of projects. Like, I'm a list, like, all of, what was it? He worked on two other things that you will have never heard of. It's When Supernatural Battles Become Commonplace. And,
I haven't heard that.
And Turning Girls.
Turning Girls. Didn't you explain that one to me, or is that a different one?
No, never. I've never heard of this.
Okay.
More than likely, it was something else called Girls. A lot of anime out there that could be about
that include the world Girls, so that could be literally anything. we can move on though.
But
this was a very good fucking short, and I just want to say it now. I love the different takes they have on lightsabers, because you get the traditional for a lightsaber look, and then you get the traditional Japanese saber look, and goddamn, both look really fucking cool, and the way they can put a creative spin on it is, I mean, it makes me very happy to see. All things considered, it just makes me very fucking happy to see.
Well, you had the main characters. You had Tajin, the Master, voiced by David Harbour.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, right. You had the Elder, who was voiced by James Hong, who...
Yeah!
Oh, okay, so you do know who that is.
Oh, yeah. I know James Hong.
Yeah, that... And the young boy was played by Jordan Fisher. I feel like I know him from something, but I couldn't tell you.
Name doesn't ring a bell to me.
Yeah. Oh, music career. There we go. That's why. All right. But that was pretty good. Like, nice amount of action, cool shots, good scenes, all that good stuff. Really well done. Episode 8.
Episode 8.
Lop and Ocho.
Ocho is episode 8.
Or as most people like to put it, the furry one.
Just because we got a bunny girl, it's the furry one.
Yes.
Fucking... Alright, fine. Whatever.
Now, the most notable thing about this one in terms of the studios, Geno Studio, is they worked on Golden Kamuy, which I'm pretty sure you've never watched. Yeah, so that's really all there is to that one. But this one was actually a very interesting take on things, because we don't often get to see how certain worlds fall to separatists, or the Empire, I should say. This is them being brought into the Empire. But, how there are a lot of different viewpoints in terms of that. Every once in a while, the movies would bring it up here and there, and sometimes in some of the shows, but I felt the way that they portrayed this was actually pretty interesting, by having a daughter, an adopted daughter, being on two sides of the conflict with the dad, seeing that this was not the right way of doing things. Yes, the Empire, there's certain things that they could provide in terms of economic wealth and stability, but ultimately they're just gonna use you and throw you to the side. I thought that was
More or less.
interesting.
I also love how they used a Jedi as a legendary figure. Like, no one was actually outright a Jedi in this. There was a lightsaber duel, but I couldn't really tell if anyone had any sort of affinity with the Force because it just was never brought up as a thing.
No,
like for all intents and purposes, they are just kind of fighting with lightsabers.
I mean, the one dad character had pretty much said it outright. It's just like, at most they had learned a few forms, but even then it's not like Lop really had time to study any of that crap, so that's about it. Like, there was a very basic understanding of all of it, and that was it. In terms of voice acting, the most prominent one that I think you'll probably recognize is, well, actually two of them. It's the voice of Ocho, who is Romy Dames, who is Pearl on Amphibia. Also Lisa in Monsters at Work. Jackie in The Loud House.
Yeah.
She has a fairly recognizable voice. And the other one was the dad, Paul Nakuchi, who is Hanzo in Overwatch.
Yep, I could recognize him.
You didn't watch the Carmen Sandiego Netflix series, did you?
Nope.
Okay, never mind on that one. Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's, they did random voices in Avatar The Last Airbender. Star Wars The Clone Wars, he was Sifo Dyas.
Yep.
Honestly, yeah, that's about it for prominent things that he was ever in.
Yeah, and honestly, that's fair. He did a fantastic job this time around, so props.
Yeah, I liked it. This is one of the ones that I do hope to really see some form of continuation, because I mean, there's a lot you could really do with the whole storyline of, Ocho going literally down the side of the dark side and Lop trying to bring her back into the light.
It has potential, and it could definitely go somewhere.
And the last one was Akagiri.
Akagiri.
Mm-hmm.
Akagiri. Red. I think that means red mist.
I will take your word for it.
I'm not 100% sure myself, but I'm just gonna run on that assumption because that's about the extent of weeb that I know. Anyway, this was an interesting short. This was that other short that had the self-fulfilling prophecy, and damn, that one was really hard to take.
No kidding.
God, that ending, my God, it's just like, hey, here's a bad ending for you guys. Enjoy that. But he actually did bring her back after he killed her, which was impressive, but ultimately kind of terrifying.
I'm force healing, and he didn't do it alone, so it kind of tracks. It kind of tracks.
I guess. Well, either way, after the fact, he's starting down his dark path, so that's no good. Yeah,
he was unfortunately very seriously influenced by, the one princess's aunt, who was in fact a Sith Lord, maybe, because she taught him force healing, which is pretty advanced shit. Like, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if that would that's something that someone who had only been learning it for a while would actually be able to figure out.
Yeah, I realistically can't say it for sure. Sometimes I don't have enough brain power to put this into words. Today is one of those times.
It's fine. Like it is what it is. Like this was one of the ones that just did not have a happy ending, and honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. It was an interesting way to go.
It was still a very good short, regardless.
Yeah, and had some.
That's another one. That's another one I kind of want to see where it ultimately ends up going.
Yeah, because I have to wonder. Will the girl does the girl have any force powers that we weren't made aware of? Was there the potential that she could, Tsubaki, that's her name. Will Tsubaki be able to bring, no, Misa, the guy's name was Tsubaki.
Yeah.
Will Misa be able to bring Tsubaki back to the light side? Is there anything that she can do? What happens from here on out? There's a lot of ways that could go.
Honestly, I do kind of want to see what happens with Tsubaki's master.
Yeah.
He even warned him, like, you see a flashback of him warning him, like, listen, you go down this path, I can't help you.
Yeah. Like, it's just like straight up like, we should probably have someone else go.
And yet, what happened?
Right.
But I guess that's just ultimately how it goes in Star Wars. Sometimes good wins, sometimes evil wins. That's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Right. And honestly, that's about it. Okay. I did stumble on a thing from the overall producer of this, where he commented, wanted to give these creators a wide berth to explore all imperative potential of the Star Wars galaxy through a unique lens of anime. We realized we wanted these to be authentic as possible. The studio creators who made them made through their unique process in a medium they're such experts at. So the idea was to use their vision riffing off all the elements of the Star Wars galaxy to inspire them, hopefully to make really incredible anthology series unlike anything seen before in the Star Wars galaxy. But there were a few of them that were actually placed kind of within the timeline. The duel was put as an alternate history pulled from Japanese lore.
Mm-hmm.
Lop and Ocho was during the reign of the Galactic Empire between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
The Elder is set sometime before the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
The Twins involves remnants of the Imperial Army after the events of Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, damn.
And the Ninth Jedi explores what became of the Jedi Knights after the Rise of Skywalker. So it's specifically the Twins and the Ninth Jedi that happen after the Rise of Skywalker, which is probably the most open area to really explore, as there's nothing really to influence it on any real degree, because most of everything else has pretty much been done in.
Basically.
Yeah, some good shit.
Very much so. I will say this much, though, for Star Wars Visions. My personal favorites have been The Duel, Tatooine Rhapsody, The Elder, and The Ninth Jedi. Those were my favorites.
For me, I'd say, definitely The Ninth Jedi, The Village Bride for me, and honestly, yeah, and Tatooine Rhapsody, honestly. I really had fun with those.